It's the NUKA-COLA Lounge, presented by the Triple S League.
NUKA-COLA was a popular drink in the pre-war era, and still is today.
Hello, this is a Triple S League podcast, the NUKA-COLA Lounge, and today I am joined by Bad Option.
Hello.
And we also have Peter Tchaikovsky.
Hey!
He is the creator of Rock Paper Cynic, which is awesome, and then also my favorite Star Wars related joke Twitter account, which I know that's pretty specific, but it's also really, really funny. Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, so I run it doesn't acknowledge itself as a parody Twitter account because it's always in character, but a parody Twitter account called Dad Joke Han Solo, and it's just where Han is constantly making these terrible Star Wars related dad jokes in an attempt to win Kylo Ren's affection.
Nice.
And of course, like, he's having none of it, but that doesn't stop Han from trying earnestly and repeatedly.
And it's hilarious. There's some terrible jokes, but there's also some really, really good ones too. And you also have a book coming out soon on the terrors of AI, correct? Or something close to that?
The terrors of AI are definitely kind of part of the theme of the campaign. So I'm doing a Kickstarter for a pair of books, and for everyone who backs, you either get a digitally password-locked PDF, which is only to be opened in the event of a mass migration of human consciousness to like a sentient AI pod. And then there's also, if you're like backing physical tier, I send you a sealed letter of instructions to open and read in the event of a like physical or a physical robot apocalypse and the internet goes down, and this is how you have to communicate now. I'm not promising that any of the information in those will be useful. In fact, I would highly discourage anyone from believing that for even a second. But you know, it'll be there. It'll be there for you.
So this is non-fiction or fiction?
Well,
I mean,
it entirely depends on how the robot apocalypse goes down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm planning it, so I'll let you know how it goes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, add me to your listserv.
Now, as we speak, the robot apocalypse might actually be currently happening because the internet apparently, and this will be old news as of tomorrow, or will be, embroiled in either World War III or the coming of the robot overlords, is that the internet is currently not working in huge chunks of the country, and both nationally and internationally. Anywhere where there's a really dense population, it's a good chunk of websites are down and are not working at all. And apparently it's all either Amazon's fault or our new robot overlords who want to make sure that we're only doing what they want us to do. So
don't finish this podcast in 2 chunks. You got to listen to it now because you never know when you're going to get to finish.
I'm just going to put the theory out there that given the new drone delivery program, Amazon and our robot overlords may in fact be the same entity. We should prepare for that possibility.
This is entirely possible. Bernie Burns posted a video on Twitter the other day where he's got this drone that just follows him.
What?
And it just tracks his position, and it just follows him as he was doing a guided tour to a new guy. We'll give him a shout out. But it's just following him around, and I'm like, oh my goodness. Well, now we've got drones that can just monitor us and follow us at all times. That seems like a terrible idea.
And what does it do when, does it just follow, or does it sense heartbeat?
I have no idea. Well, it probably doesn't sense heartbeat, but I mean, it sits up above him by maybe 10, 15 feet-ish, and it just follows him around. As he's walking, the drone just tracks his location and just follows him and just takes video. It makes for some really amazing footage.
Yeah,
as you're,
I guess.
Walking through areas like you could, and I'm sure somebody's has done this or is going to do this, but you could go to Disney World, which I'm pretty sure you're not allowed to fly drones there, but you can go to other fairs and stuff like that and just kind of walk around the fair or the park, and the drone will just follow you and film you the whole time. Unless of course it mistakes you for somebody else.
Yeah.
Or if it's tracking your phone and then your phone gets, pickpocketed, then you lose both the drone and your phone.
Right.
So
but how cool would it be if you're on the Ferris wheel and it's tracking you all the way around?
That would be really cool.
that would be cool. I wonder how they work for objects like that.
I also wonder if you dropped your phone off the Ferris wheel, would it dive bomb the crowd below?
Oh! Look out below!
There's some. I mean, I'm surprised that people haven't been hit by falling drones a lot more. Considering.
Yeah.
So
There is a great video out there of a wedding photographer was using a drone to do like a sweeping shot flying up above the couple's head. Not during the ceremony. This was like outside of the ceremony. This was to make a beautiful shot, but instead it made impact like right at face level with the bride and groom.
Oh!
It's pretty
that's
brutal.
terrible.
Yeah.
And those things are dangerous too. Those blades.
They hurt.
Yeah.
Very well. What was the one singer? I want to say Italian, but I know he's not Italian. He's
Justin Timberlake.
No, not him. He was up on stage and he went out to grab one of his own drones. It was like his cruise drones that were doing some film shots for like a post video or music video or something. And he reached up to kind of like just to gently touch the drone, you know, to kind of give that cool image of this camera like floating above the crowd, then coming in, and then like, oh my goodness, like his hand comes into, you know, eye contact with the camera, but instead his hand went close to the blade, and it sliced his hand open like really badly.
Yikes!
And he had to cancel the show. And he's like, I remember the picture of him was like he's got the first aid guys around him, and his hand is like covered in this wrap, and it's just all red.
Oh god!
It's just the entire thing is red.
I know the lead singer of Muse. They had released an album called Drones. They had live drones flying around and doing like live camera shots of the concert while they were doing it. And they also he's invested in drone racing as like a stadium sport. He's like an investor in this budding industry. So that sounds like something that he would do. And they have like Muse has like the absolute best like spectacle production for concerts that I've ever seen.
Sounds like it. Yeah.
Speaking of drone racing, that is a sport that I could really get into, like as either both a participant or a watcher. It is so fun, and I mean it's the next best thing to like. I mean it's essentially pod racing. Yeah. But like you can do it now. And it's fun. It's wicked fun.
That's cool.
It's really awesome. I really think that this sport has potential. It has to be handled really, really well by somebody who just knows the technology, and then also the potential viewers like inside and out. I think
they have to have a good
get that
sense of business there.
Mm-hmm.
If they could turn it into a contact sport, like everyone wear a drone on their back and they're like their own little helicopter things and smashing into each other. No bad option. No. I want it and I want it now.
You're describing like jetpack racing. if that were a thing.
That's no longer is a drone, but it's also probably something that most people wouldn't survive. That's like Fallout level blood sport, like gladiator sports. Something like that. Anyways, moving on to game information. The Switch is out. Have either of you guys gotten the Switch yet?
I don't think I'm going to get it. I'm the kind of person who's always like waited for friends to get consoles and then just mooched off them. That's cool. I'm like a retro gamer, not just because I love retro games, but because I tend to like get a game system for like $80 5 years after it came out, and then like suddenly you'll see me tweeting about like 2 or 3 years ago I was tweeting about playing BioShock for the first time, and everyone was like,
I like this guy. I dig that.
Was this guy stuck in a cave? Like, why? How has he not experienced this? But for me, like it means that when I do actually play like a new game, I'm transported like 5 years into the future in terms of graphics all at once. And it's like an amazing experience. I get to like be the caveman who just unfroze in modern society and is discovering what a Roomba is.
That's awesome.
Well, the tech is looking, it looks solid, and I'm definitely keeping my eye on it. But frankly, until Nintendo fixes its YouTuber policies, it's kind of a pointless thing to get, because it's like you're for somebody who makes and reviews and plays games and makes games, it's absolutely pointless, because there's nothing that you can do to interact with the device without following a very, very strict rule set.
You can't guarantee that your video is going to stay up if you post Nintendo content.
Well, I mean, it's almost a guaranteed takedown if you're not in their team. But this is potentially going to change, and I'm giving Nintendo some major props here. They are bringing in dozens and dozens of indie developers to work on some new games for the Switch.
Good job, Nintendo. Go.
Yeah, I'm really, really happy about this. I think this is definitely moving in the right direction. Over 60 indie titles are coming out in the near future.
Wow.
And I think almost 17 of them have shown up in some kind of form of like major advertising. So
okay,
this is really good because they're starting to interact with both the players and the industry on a much more personable level. They're not like really ritzy salesmen who, their extent of doing business with you is like, here's our product, give us your money, and now this concludes all conversation on everything that has to do with anything either related or not related to our products, and definitely not related directly to our products and the service that we provide in this one very small building. Please leave now.
The Nintendo gods have spoken.
Yeah, so this is great. I think it's good. Now, if they just kind of embrace the the YouTubes, the Twitters, and the the other stuff a little bit more, I think they can probably get out of the hole that they've kind of found themselves in here for the last little bit. So
now you're waiting for the availability for the videos to go up and stay up, and their policies and things.
Mostly their policies to change. I'm definitely gonna be mooching the console from either a friend or a relative to play a little bit of the Zelda.
Oh, Breath of the Wild, yeah. I'm so hyped for that.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild.
Who isn't talking about that right now? Seriously.
As a warning, do not Google Breath of the Wild right now at all.
Oh, no.
And don't.
Is it nasty?
No, what happened is some pirates got it and were able to legally duplicate it, and now there's spoilers everywhere.
Oh, spoilers.
So if you are online at all, be very careful when you're clicking on videos and stuff like that you don't end up spoiling the end of the game.
Yeah,
because
they could be end-game content.
And I hate it when this happens. I hate it when a new product comes out or a new movie comes out, and it's like, I'm not going to be able to look at Twitter until I go see the movie tomorrow, because I know that there will be somebody there who has spoiled the ending of the movie in my feed and has, without warning, is just like, oh my goodness, Soylent Green is people.
Wah, wah.
Spoiler alert for a movie that's about made in the 60s or the 70s.
I haven't seen it, dude. Shut up. But yeah, just like seriously, upload another picture of food and just leave the movie comments to yourself.
I found people who on Twitter will actually like search for the keyword of people like don't spoil this movie for me or don't spoil this show, and then we'll just tweet at those people like, this is what happens. It works. It's not just like it's in your feed, it's like in your notifications, it's coming to you.
Yeah, that happens.
An option for the punishment could be to give those people like perpetually slow Wi-Fi and data, so that anytime they try to access the things they love, it's ruined for them. Like it's never quite buffered enough to enjoy it. This could be God's wrath right now for us spoiling something for him. Maybe God was super hyped for Breath of the Wild.
Yep.
We've got a game coming out for you guys remember James Cameron's Avatar, not the Avatar the cartoon, but
yes,
yeah.
Blue people.
So the Blue People Avatar, Ubisoft is making a new game on it.
Oh no.
That advances the story, but as we both know, probably not going to be considered canon because the next movie is going to not use what's used in a video game as its source material.
No kidding. And let's face it, video games, yikes.
These are one of these projects that I look at and I'm like, you realize that this is essentially just a cash grab, because it's not gonna have anything to do with the actual story. I mean, it could, and that would be a first. That would be pretty amazing if James Cameron gave them some additional plot information that kind of like tied the connection between movie 1 and movie 2. That would be great if he did that.
Really would.
But I really doubt that that's going to happen in this one, especially considering the publisher.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Ubisoft is not somebody who I would have entrusted that to. Ubisoft is, especially with the Assassin's Creed movie flubbing so badly, their ability to connect movies and video games, and in most cases storytelling in video games, not that great, and leaves a lot to be desired. Not to say that they're the worst. They definitely earned their spot as a AAA game producer.
Yeah.
But in this particular case, I don't think it's going to work out very well for, well, pretty much anybody. So, but that's just my 2 cents on it.
Fair enough. And yeah, it's hard to say whether or not that's going to turn out. If it turns out really well, great. Good for everybody involved. But that's not going to be one I'm pre-ordering, I can tell you that much.
Yeah.
Super excited for the Avatar movie. Didn't even know there was an Avatar game.
Yeah.
Watch this turn out to be like the Clone Wars of the Avatar franchise, where it plugs in the gap really delightfully between things and turns out to be a fan favorite.
Could be.
Yeah, that's always possible.
I have my doubts that will happen.
I am really looking forward to Logan. Talking about movies, and the early reviews is going to potentially make this one of the greatest movies of the summer, and probably definitely ranking it in the top echelons of comic book movies, which is good because it takes the X-Men series and it takes the only 2 people from the X-Men series that have any business being in a comic book movie and puts them together in one movie together.
Well,
it's great.
Let's not go crazy there.
Hey, Wolverine and Professor X are the only 2 well-played roles in that entire series.
I don't know. Sir Ian McKellen, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say Magneto.
He's so good.
Yes, but they just kind of butchered his story, right? Like, I mean...
Yeah, the good, the bad, the good, the bad, the good, the bad.
Yeah.
That is driving me crazy. And even though I didn't like the movie particularly, people can't say enough good things about Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah. Wait, are you talking about original
Yeah.
Deadpool or recent Deadpool?
Well, they're
Because
both
these are 2
good.
very different things.
And actually, the Ryan Reynolds showing up in Blade, that was an awful abortion of a film. But, I mean, he was good in that. I think he was better back then than he is now. I don't know. Maybe I just think he can't hold his own in an entire cinema-length film.
When you say recently, you are talking about the recent most amazing comic book comedy.
And see, everyone loves it, and I just, maybe I heard too many good things about it, so my expectations were too high, but I didn't enjoy it. I don't know.
Yeah, well, never go into a movie expecting, like the most amazing. For any movie that I look forward to, I stop watching the trailers after, the first teaser. So
okay.
When the teaser comes out, I'll watch the teaser, great, awesome. And then the trailers come out. Trailers will always spoil everything.
Yeah.
I learned that on the, the Phantom Menace, this first Star Wars. I'm like, I can't wait for this. Watch the trailer. Double light spoiler. Sorry, light spoiler. Double lightsaber spoiled in the bloody trailer.
Yep.
Wow. Just wow. Okay. Thank you.
Well,
for whoever.
Luckily, that was the one thing that could be spoiled in that movie. Everything else was just total hot garbage. So.
Yeah,
you lucked
But
out.
I mean, yeah, I think Logan's going to do really well, and I think it's going to be good for the series because they need to get some people who understand the comic books and why they were good. Not the most recent ones, because the most recent comic books, like the ones in the last year or two, not been selling so well. They've been catering to people who do not read their comic books and creating storylines that their fans do not enjoy. Thus creating a market where nobody buys anything anymore.
Yeah.
It's
see it once and then you're done.
Well, no, it's not see it once. It's like they push a story or they push a particular concept or something like that, and that's not what the fans wanted. They don't pick up comic books to be either preached to or to be insulted by either insulting their intelligence or insulting their the way they live or whatever.
Yeah.
They want the comic books to be about comic book things. There's a reason why it's called fantasy, is because we understand that there's people have different opinions. That's fine, but we don't want to get political in the comic books that are based on people with superpowers after having been bathed in radiation fighting other superpowered people who got their superpowers by standing in an electric generator.
Yeah.
I can guarantee you that doing either of those events will not result in giving you superpowers. There's a suspension of reality here.
Yeah.
And trying to pull in more reality is kind of like, no. And so comic book connoisseurs have been really disappointed with the last couple of runs, and this movie is kind of, hopefully, from what I've been hearing, is kind of getting back to the roots of what made me read comic books when I was younger, and that's great.
Yeah, and something I love about Wolverine, especially played by Hugh Jackman, is it can be dark, it can be gritty, it can be thrilling, but it can be fun. He's so good in that role, and I pray that this is just his ultimate send-off, that this thing isn't a total flop. But like you, I saw the teaser and then I shut off all media. I don't want anything spoiled.
If there's one thing that the X-Men movies to date I think have lacked, it's they don't necessarily have like a strong vibe to them. Like they're big, they're exciting, and often the plots are really interesting. But like there's never been one where like you left it and you had this like really strong feeling a certain way. And I feel like the Logan trailer just hit people really hard because they really did add like a very particular voice and a very particular like storytelling resonance to even just the way they did the cuts, to the Johnny Cash
yes
song, like everything that they did there was very carefully showing like this is going to be a very particular kind of story, and they weren't trying to keep it as this like general superhero blockbuster thing. And I'm thinking that gamble's going to pay off. It just, I don't know, I got so excited for that. And like you said, I've been let down by trailers before, but this looks like it could go the distance.
It's more than just eyes and ears, it's emotions. That's what these real comic book things do, and that's what you have reading a comic book for real, is you go inside yourself and you just get engrossed in it. And yeah, the flashback X-Men movies are a little bit lacking. They're just bright colors and movements, and they're fun, but they lack that grit that I miss from the original three, and even some of the other, well, DC can do that grit right, but they're missing some other things in there. So
yeah, sometimes grit is like the only ingredient in DC. You're like, oh, this is a mouthful
yeah.
of mud. Thank you for spooning that in.
Yeah, but where's the fun? I need the fun. I need the witty banter. I need that part too. So
yeah, well, that's why the Justice League trailer got me re-excited for DC. But I've also I've learned to stop being excited for DC movies. But there was fun. The trailer looked fun, and I hope it's just not a mechanical like, oh, Reddit slammed our movie and said it wasn't fun, so we added some jokes. Like I hope it's not an automatic response. But I mean, I'd rather that they're learning, even if they're learning mechanically.
Yeah. Also, people need to not be as super judgy as they sometimes are. Like, the nerds who like, point out every possible mistake in a film. Yeah, the Fantastic Four, terrible all around. I kind of get it, and it's okay. But at the same time, there's certain movies where you shouldn't expect more than just lots of explosions, some cool thingies, and that's it. And probably don't get your hopes up. It's kind of like expecting plot from Transformers movies. I do not go to a Transformers movie to see plot. I go to a Transformers movie to see giant robots fight each other.
I'm there exclusively for the buff.
Oh, he is. I don't know if he's a genius when it comes to making him a pillar in the meme world, or if he's just completely insane. I don't know.
Oh, man.
I don't know.
Can you imagine a movie with Nick Cage and Shia LaBeouf? It would just be, I don't know if it would be art or if it would just be like the world's greatest horror film. I just don't know.
I've got one better for you. Oh wait, did you say Nicolas Cage?
I did, yeah.
Oh, right. That's what I was gonna say. For some reason, I was thinking somebody else when you said him, and I was like, oh no, I got one better for you. Nicolas Cage,
just do it. Yeah, there are no
you were on the
yeah.
We were on the same wavelength there. My ears were just lagging behind a little bit. So,
that's all good.
So, anyways, that is it for us today. We're a little short on time. Please like and subscribe, and if you really like us, double subscribe, because you know how...
Just do it!
Yeah, you know how YouTube was like, hey, one subscribe button, not enough. Now you need two. So, yeah, and apparently you have to, smash it as hard as you possibly can. I wouldn't recommend that, because you'd probably go through a lot of mouses if you did.
Is it mouses or mice?
Or maybe it's touchscreens, I don't know.
Touchscreens, yeah. Put your fist right through that iPad.
Microwave your computer after liking. Hey, buy a new computer and do it again.
Yeah, That's right.
Also, if you are a modder, Arc is now offering $4,000 for people to mod their game. So look into that. Have a nice day. We will see you later.
Love you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey everybody, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps us out a ton when you do that. Check out this video. It's one of our favorite things that we've done so far on our channel. And here's some more stuff you might like. See the description below for links to our Sugar Bomb forum and our mods on Nexus Mods.